Yeah, so we're live now. And I'm gonna divide you in small rooms and we can do what I said. So please accept the invitation, your screen, and go to the small room and we can start. That's it. Adeliane and Heitor now. To the other room, I guess. Yeah, so let's start, guys. Let's start introducing yourselves, right? So, Roberto, how are you today? Can you introduce yourself to us?
Yes, sure. I'm good today. Thank you for asking. And talking about me, my name is Roberto. I'm 25 years old. I live in Maringá, Paraná. And I've been participating on TnT for almost 3 or 4 months. But in your room, it's my first meeting too. So it's a pleasure to be here to know you and the other peoples too. And I'm studying English because it's very important nowadays to our lives or our career too. But I study because I like to, and one of my goals is to be a fluent person, like some of my friends, because I'm a little envy when I see some of my friends talk so normally English, and I think, oh, one day I'd like to be like that guy. So it is one of my goal to be fluent and maybe travel abroad too. Why not? And I think that's it.
That's awesome. And nice to meet you today. So, Walter, what about you? Who are you? Tell me.
I'm Walt, I'm 42, and I'm from Salvador, Bahia, and I work in a beverage company and the IT area, and I'm here to improve my English and make connections.
Nice to see you. So, Victoria, would you mind if I put you in the other room because a person left and they are like, we have a lot of people here and we could go to the other. Would you mind it?
What?
To put you in the other room because we are
Other
a
room?
lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, but
Okay.
no, it's my screen, no, apareceu.
No, yeah, I'm gonna put you right now.
Okay.
Just asking. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See you soon.
See you soon. So, Bruno, what about you? Who are you? Could you start introducing yourself?
Sure. So my name is Bruno. At first, good evening, everyone. My name is Bruno. I'm from Santos. I'm 31 years old. I'm married. I work in a freight for other company for 80 years. And for me, it's a pleasure to be here with you guys. I know some of these faces, and I usually say that TNT is like a big family, And as I said, for me, it's a pleasure to be here. I hope that we can enjoy this time.
Yeah, I hope that too. Nice to see you here. So, Gabriela, what about you? Can you start introducing yourself to us?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gabriela. I am 21 years. I'm living in Minas Gerais, Belo Horizonte. I'm a biomedicine student, and I'm studying English to live and study abroad.
That's nice. I want that too someday. So, Bia, what about you? Can you start introducing yourself?
Hello, my name is Ana Beatriz, but here in TnT, everybody knows me as Bia. I'm 20. I'm also from Rio de Janeiro. I am a chemistry student. I'm an artist. I'm a hostess here on TnT, but earlier. And yeah, that's it. I've been learning English. It's been a long time, and I'm here on TnT. It's been 1 year, and yeah, that's it. And now I am trying to learn Japanese.
I want to learn Japanese too. Let's learn it together.
Yeah, please. I need someone to help me to
Yeah.
to say,
Yep.
come on, let's study.
Let's.
Because I've been lazy these days.
So guys, let's start. I'd like you to each one of you to read one vocabulary by yourself. So I don't know, Walter, can you read what blacklist means?
Yes, it's a list of items that are not accepted. Blackmail. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other one, I don't know if this will work, but like, Roberto, can you read what blackmail means?
Yes, no problem. Blackmail, the act of forcing someone to do or pay something by threatening to reveal.
Yeah. So, Bia, can you read what blackmail means? It's simple.
It means to reject someone.
Yeah. And Bruno, can you read what black mark means?
Sure. Let me see. Black mark, something that makes something else less perfect or less appealing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Gabriela, can you read black day, what it means?
Okay, Black Day. It's a day on which something terrible was happening.
Yeah, and we got black look, an expression of anger or contempt, and an expression that they say a lot, not so black as somebody's painted, and it means to be as bad or unpleasant as someone or something is rumored to be. So I don't know if it sounds, I'm gonna ask you guys here, but like it all relates to the black word, and I don't know why it's just there. And I just got it in my mind and I created that question. So guys, all those expressions that we got here that I said, they're used daily. And I'm gonna ask you guys, could those expressions sound offensive somehow, or you don't think it is related? And why do people use it without realizing, because it's in their routine and they just say it? And if it could be a consequence of structural racism, like it was talked in the video. What do you think, Bia? What do you think about it?
Oh, I hate you. um, yeah, definitely that's offensive. Definitely. But I don't know about these words because I'm not used to them, but I will try to think about it, thinking in the words that we have in Portuguese, because for me it's better to understand it. And I think that these words, we say it, but most of the time we don't realize that it is offensive to someone. So it is really good for us to search more about it, because I think that racism, sexism, everything like that is unfortunately cultural for us. So we have to keep it away from our culture, because it's not good at all. We have a really bad word in Portuguese that I used to use them, and then someone told me, "Oh, stop doing it. It's not cool at all." And I asked myself, why? It's just a word. But then I started to search more about it, and I realized that it was pretty offensive. One example of that in Portuguese is criado mudo. I used to say these words a lot, and then when I searched for it, I got shocked. So, but unfortunately, is something that happens, but we have to be careful and to study more about it.
Yeah, there's a whole thing behind it, and we just say it. So it's a structural, like it's in our society, like you said, and yeah. So, Walter, what about you? Do you think it can be a consequence of structural racism too? Do you agree with Bia? What do you think?
Uh, I agree with Bia, and it's difficult to me how much offensive is this word because some this word is that is not in Brazil, and uh, the power of the word we can translate, but the power of the word is depends of the culture and but we use for example Black Friday. I don't know uh, uh, the Black Friday it's a offense word, but I'm not uh, black people for judging about it. That's it.
Yeah, it's like it depends on the culture in the country, so it's kind of difficult to say. But yeah, I guess a few words that I send here are offensive, but some might not be. So it's kind of
Yes,
like what
and
you said.
it depends the culture. And I love you. And English is different. The eu te amo in Portuguese. The power of the words. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, I agree. So, Roberto, what about you? Do you think it's a consequence of structural racism? Do you say these words in Portuguese, like some words related to that, or you try to not do it? What about you?
Well, in my case, I'm not using so much about these words because I try to use the meaning of the words in in this case, but I think in my opinion, I don't know because I've never searched about it, but I think it's offensive because and Walter said something about Black Friday and the last year it was interesting because some places are uh, they are changing the word Black Friday to their logo, for example, Red Friday, Yellow Friday, to try to avoid this meaning of black and related something bad. But like I said, I never searched about it. But because what happened the last year about the phrase Black Lives Matter, so I think that people's nowadays are are thinking more about it, the meanings, the words too, and Dia said something that I think interesting because uh, there are some words we use daily, but when we use with other people, they can he or she can be not like about it and talk to us that no, don't use this word because it's a little offensive to us. And I think in this situation we can think, oh, so this word is a little offensive, so I will search or avoid to use and try to use the other words in this case. So yeah, I think that's it, and that I remember, and in my opinion too.
So yeah, like I agree you can it depends on the culture and everything, but like there is a point. Most of these words they are related to something bad. Always. They're never something good. And it's kind of something to think also. So yeah, it's kind of I'm reflecting like you guys. So Bruno, what about you? Do you think it is a consequence of structural racism? Do you use those words? Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah, definitely yes. I think so. I think that in the past, all the things were made wrong in a wrong way, and nowadays we have the consequences. And unfortunately, uh, some people pass through this, and it's bad. It's bad. I try to avoid this vocabulary in my life because I don't want to hurt anyone, and of course for me it's wrong, you know. And probably when someone, I think most of the people when they tell these words, I I think that maybe 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 one of them, most of them don't want to hurt someone. I think, but I can I don't know, I can uh, ensure it. And it's totally wrong, and I think that all the world needs to review this kind of vocabulary. I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. I guess it's like they say it without realizing they are not with intention nowadays, but somehow they say it because in the past they used to say it with intention. So it's like the culture, like Bia said. So yeah,
That's the point. Yes, totally agree with
yeah.
you.
So Gabriela, what about you? What do you think about it? Do you agree with the guys?
Yeah, I agree. I think Black people also feel attacked for these words. And I think nowadays persons think more about um, the expressions you talking about, but I don't think it has a majority of the society because it has a lot of people uh, talk this word, speak these words, and don't think about what expressions meaning. I don't think have a majority of the persons thinking about that.
So I agree with you guys. Yeah. I guess that's it. We already discussed it. Let's go to the other question. Uh, this is a polemic question. Are racial quotas a type of discrimination for you? What do you think? Let's start with it's really polemic. So let's start with Walter. What do you think? You're muted. Can you? Your microphone is.
I'm sorry.
Now I can hear.
Yes, I think so, and I not agree with social uh, racial code. I believe in social quotas, no racial quotas.
What about Roberto? What do you think? Do you like agree with racial quotas? What do you think about it?
Well, Well, I never thought about it because when I was studying to pass the university exam, um, some of my friends and I talking about the racial quotas and in my opinion, guys, I think it's we thought that it's first step to try to help these people to enter the university to do um, I, I don't know, to give one chance to people's uh, can study and have a good and quality education and might not in the future help their families too. So uh, I never discussed it during my uh, graduation too. I only studied to pass the year, and it was so hard to me to think about this subject. And today it's interesting because I'm learning the other visions besides me. So in my opinion, I think no, but I'd like to hear the other opinions beside me. I think it will be very interesting to learn it too.
Yeah, I also agree. Like today, I'm learning a lot, and it's a great topic to discuss and to share opinions and to learn about it. So, Bruno, in your opinion, racial quotas are a kind of discrimination or not? Like, do you think it helps or they are discriminating those people?
So I think that this topic, this question is complex to answer because we have two sides. Two sides, you know. For example, of course, that quotes bring some opportunities to the people, you know. But in the same time, I believe, for example, I believe that uh, no matter what color you are or race or you know, it's no matter no matter. What is important is your your qualities, your character. You know, it's important, and if you are a hard work person, it's matter. You know, but your color, anyways, it's no matter. You know? So if you hard work, if you work hard, you can do anything. You know, but in the same time, I know that some people uh, don't give the opportunity to other people, you know. So it's very complicated. I really don't know how to answer this question, but because I know that there are two sides about this case, you know. It's very complex to answer it, but because I believe that while we practice this kind of thing, for example, accept this, have a code to enter in a university, while we accept this, I think that the things will never change, you know. I think that opportunity is for everyone, no matter your color or your race or religion, you know. But that's it.
So, what about Bia? Do you believe they are kind of discrimination or do you think they help like people or indigenous people or whatever?
Yeah, for me, of course, they help. They're not at all a kind of discrimination. Actually, I have so many things to talk about it because today we had a meeting at 1 p.m. and we talked about racism and education. and it was such a good talk, a good conversation. And of course, I brought the same question. What do you think about racial quotas? And we had a really good answer. So I would like to invite you to go there and watch it. The answer of a Black person. So it is really interesting to understand a little bit it better. And oh, I have many things to say for you to search for it better. You know, today we had a really good video that I brought for the conversation to understand how education for Black people works, and we have this image. I will put in chat this image that I don't need to say much things about it. It's just, it is what it is. And you can understand about racial quotas just to watch, to seeing this image. And I don't have much things to say. When we pass like 500 years just ignoring a part of the population, we have to do something to solve it. So I am how can I say it? I forgot. How can I say it in English? A favor. I forgot.
In favor?
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what happened. So I am in favor of racial quotas, but I wouldn't like it to not exist. Because it would be such a nice planet, such a nice place to live if we couldn't have to put a tape in every crack, you know. So racial quotas for me is a tape that you put in a, oh, I forgot, in a, I don't know, in a pool, for example, in a plastic pool that there is a crack on it, not a crack, but okay, and you just tape it, you know. It's not like this, you have to change the whole pool. Okay, because it won't be good just with a tape. I'm just giving you example just to think about it, but it would be such a good planet, such a good place to live if wouldn't exist racist or sexist people or prejudiced. So we wouldn't have to have racial quotas, and it would be really good. But we don't live in a perfect world. So we have to do something to change our situation, because our situation is really, really, oh, we're not, because I'm not Black, but the whole situation is getting really, really, really bad. So we have to talk about racism. We have to create racial quotas. We have to do things to change what we are living.
I totally agree. You just said everything. I think it would be like an utopic, I don't know how to say this in English, I guess it's a utopic world if it weren't like things like that, and it would be better. But unfortunately, we have a society that has that, and not only in Brazil but also other parts of the world. But like in Brazil, it's more common actually, because we were the last country to end with slavery, and it hurts so bad to see how things work here. And I think it's great to have racial quotas. I think it would be better if it were not, like Bia said, because it would be a better world, but it's not. It's our society, it's not totally equal. So I guess it's kind of great. And I agree with Bia. And what about Gabriela? What do you think?
I totally agree with you and Bia. And I think the racial quotas try to equalize the balance. So try. I think had a big way to see, and I think the racial quotas is so necessary.
So guys, let's go to the third question. Do you believe in racial democracy? So let me see. Roberto, do you believe in racial democracy? What do you think about this concept?
Well, I think and I hope in the future, yes, I try to believe someday, but I think nowadays we have a long way to achieve this goal, to achieve this racial democracy. But I believe if one of the one of us guys try to thinking more, to study, to search, and try to do something, just a little thing. I think we can change not the whole society, but in our families, in our friends, and I think the other people is starting to think about it, and that's it. Why I believe the reason I believe in the future we can have a racial democracy, mainly in the work too. Uh, Nowadays, I work in a place that we can discuss a lot of this topic, racism and racism, and the others topics, and diversity, diversity. I think that's in English, diversity, and I'm happy because uh, there exist some companies that starting to think about it. So we have the society, the work, and starting to think. So I hope that one day we can achieve this goal.
That's great. So what about Gabriela? Do you believe in racial democracy?
Well, nowadays I don't know, but in the future, yes, because there's a lot of recognized about any things and questions, and I think in Brazil the democracy doesn't work in commonly. And you thinking about racial democracy, I don't think Brazil is the most example for that.
Yeah, I totally agree, unfortunately. And what about Bia? Do you believe in this concept, at least in our country?
Yeah, today, not in this country, maybe in other, but I don't think, I don't believe in that nowadays that it happens in our country, not at all. We have so many kinds of discrimination, so I don't believe in this country, in this country nowadays, not at all. But I'm not a positive person. I'm always thinking negatively about things, but sometimes I try to think in a positive way.
Gosh, girl.
And sometimes I try to think in a positive way, and maybe in the future we can have it. I, as Robert said, maybe, I don't know. Well, comparing 10 years ago to now, 10 years ago we wouldn't have this discussion here, it was really rare comparing to nowadays. I think internet helped this spread of these discussion, and yeah, I think I try to believe in a better place, in a yeah, that's it. I just try, so I have hope. So that's it. I just try.
So what about Valde? Do you believe in racial democracy?
Actually, I don't believe there is racial in Brazil, fortunately, but in the future, I think it's possible. Okay, that's it.
So Bruno, what about you?
Yeah, I think that I totally agree with you guys. For example, nowadays it's so hard to work, but I have hope that in the future we can live this reality. I think that while exists some group of people that uh, are treated differently, it will never work. But if we have a world that we can live all in the same way, and respect each other, yes, maybe it can happen.
So guys, the first question here is like, could you give examples of structural racism in your country? And I'd just like to ask like freely if you want to say like something in our country. Just who wants to start like for free because we don't have a lot of time. So just go. Who wants to have something in mind? Structural racism in our country. No one?
Well, I think the whole life of a Black person is an example in every part of this person's life, like education, getting a job, or relationships, or I don't know, buy clothes or go to the supermarket. Every part of this black person's life is affected by it. So
Yeah, it's like in the video, it says like every type of racism comes from structural racism and they are just consequences. Yeah, I just read it.
I have a little example.
Okay.
About I don't know the person's know, but a girl was killed, I think, 3 or 4 days ago, and she works in a farm, and the farm it's a strange thing to talk, but I think is an structural racism, this, because the store used the woman's kill for coupons. It's so weird, and I thinking about that when I thinking about structural racism, because it's a supra-sumo do racismo.
So guys, just the last question I just want to ask until we end the time. There is the sixth question, the George Floyd case. It spells out the desire for racial supremacy taken to an extreme. And how can we relate police violence to structural racism somehow? Can you relate that? Who wants to say it? Like, for who just wants to open the microphone and say something until we end?
I said too much. I won't say anything. It's
So
up to
I
you
think
guys.
yes. I think yeah, have a relation, because when you think the prisons in Brazil, I think 73% of prisoners is Black. This part is about traffic or other crimes, but a little part is about disrespectful for a policeman, for example. And this is so strange because when the white man disrespect a policeman, never do this. He never does this. And when he's a Black, has a lot of things, mean things to do. Understand? I think it's
yeah,
a
I got
little
it.
hard to explain.
So guys, welcome back. Did you guys like the conversation? Who wants to talk about it? How was the conversation in your other room? Eito, how was the conversation
Yeah.
in the other room?
Okay.
Did you like?
Okay. I like it. It was amazing because as the lead of the class, I divided the time from a good distribution among the people. So I learned a lot with each person in that room. Okay. So we discussed about the racism regarding the black color, of course, but we mentioned also about the structural racism linked to the indigenous population. And there's indigenous population in Brazil, in Australia as well. So it was good to mention about the various types of racism. Also, regarding the inequality pertaining to the outcome of our country and inequality regarding the difference between money of each family, because this undoubtedly interfere the, let me see, the progress in the school of the people, because with more money the people in our country can pay a, um, a school with a better system than the public school, because the school system in Brazil unfortunately isn't good, for example, like Portugal, like Australia. And that's it. Some of the main examples that we discussed in the other room.
So I think it was amazing, I guess, right? I think it's great also to talk about indigenous people, like you guys mentioned. It's really important also because it's another type of discrimination. Yeah, I totally agree, and I'm glad you liked. And yeah, guys, I'm gonna send here the social medias of Aprendi, and like Instagram and Telegram and everything here on the chat. And yeah, guys, Rogério, you opened the microphone. What did you think about the conversation today?
The victim.
I pressed the wrong button. But that's okay. That's okay. In my room, the conversation was awesome. Heitor was a great leader, and I can't remember now the question, but I told in our meeting that I can't remember now any tennis player who are black playing tennis in our country, in Brazil, and by the way, in the world, I can't remember any tennis player who are black. I think it's because this kind of sport is just for rich people, and after many years. Uh, just now we have in the Formula One, Lewis Hamilton. This guy is black, and he is the only black driver who practice this kind of sport.
Yeah, and it's also related to poverty, like we talked about in the other thematic week, and it's all related. So, guys, yeah, that's it. Thank guys for coming today. I'd like to ask you guys if you could please answer the feedback. Now, feedback comes in a link that I send here on the show. Just click on the link and answer the feedback, and tell me if you guys like the conversation, if you had suggestions for other topics, for other meetings. And yeah, that's it. And I'm glad you guys were here for the first time. I guess everybody. And yeah, thank you guys for today. And that's it, guys. I'll be sending the feedback. Feedback! So please answer the feedback. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Luana.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Luana.
See you
Good
soon.
night.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.